So in today's video, we are going to be looking at a project called LEFTWM. LEFTWM is a window manager. It's a tiling window manager written in the Rust programming language, which I'm a huge fan of. And yeah, what we're going to do today is I've already got LEFTWM installed. I haven't configured it yet. I haven't even logged into this window manager yet. But I did get it installed, and we're just going to play around. I'm going to check out the configuration file. We're going to, I'm going to try and get SXHKD working with it. Maybe get like a background, just get a basic working config going, and see what we can kind of do with this thing. It's a unique window manager. I've just never played around with it. I've talked to a couple of people in the Linux community about it, and they've had different opinions, right? So let's go ahead and flip over to the desktop. I'll show you guys the website real fast, and then I'll log into this thing, and we'll try and get a decent config going. Like I said, I don't know anything about it, so I don't know how far we'll get, but we'll try. So let me go ahead and switch over here, and then so this is the LEFTWM GitHub right here, and they have some unique things going on. So they talk right here about LEFTWM it's not a compositor, it's not a lock screen, it's not a bar, it's a window manager. So they have a very simple philosophy in that it's just a window manager, and they make it pretty apparent that you need, if you want a bar, you need a bar. If you want a compositor like PyCom or Compton or something, you need to have it there. So that's pretty cool, because a lot of your tiling window managers, they don't specifically say that, you know. So kudos to LEFTWM for being pretty upfront about that. They do got some dependencies here, so of course you need Xorg, Rust installed, Bash, your typical stuff. And then they talk about some common dependencies for themes. Now, the one thing that's kind of weird with this window manager here is that it does something with theming, and I think like everything is like a theme, and we're not really going to play around with that feature, I don't think, in this video. Hey guys, Future Chris here, and I just wanted to say that I know I didn't cover themes much in the video. However, if you guys check out the live stream that I did a couple of days ago, I do cover themes in more detail during that live. I do apologize about that, and I also apologize about how long it took to upload this video. I've been super busy with messing around with Xmonad here, so check out that live stream if you guys want to check out the themes and everything, and I hope you guys continue to enjoy the video. So back to old Chris. This video really is going to try and focus on just getting a working config going, and then if we have time, or if the video doesn't run super long, then I'll play around with that. But yeah, we got the install instructions here. So you can install this several different ways. Of course, you can use Cargo, which is the Rust package manager. Then it's got some void instructions. Of course, Pac-Man had it, and then Fedora, and then, yeah. Actually, Pac-Man didn't have it, but the AUR had LEFTWM. You can also install this from source if you wanted to. So right here, it shows you how to install it from source. Now, a couple other cool things about this is that you can build LEFTWM without all the bells and whistles. And what I mean by that is that if you don't want to use LEFTWM's hotkey, Damien, you don't have to build the package with it, but they do state right here that if you do not build it with the hotkey daemon, you will need your own hotkey daemon. Now, I built it with everything that comes with it. However, I still probably will use the SXHKD because I don't think that this window manager has keycords. And I'm a huge fan of keycords. I use keycords a lot. So for that reason, I'll probably keep most of the things like the LEFTWM specific stuff. I'll use their hotkey daemon for that. But for anything else like applications that fire up and stuff like that, I'll probably be using the SXHKD daemon. And they show you how to install with all these features, or how to install without all these features. So that's really neat. And then we go down to this theming right here, and this is what I was talking about with the themes. They do some weird stuff with themes. Then they show you how to generate a config. So that's pretty neat. And then just basically how to do some default keybind stuff. And then right here, since it's a Rust programming language, a lot of the applications that they encourage you to use uses Rust. Like for instance, we encourage you to use Alacrity. Why they encourage you to use Alacrity? Probably because Alacrity is built using Rust. And that's pretty much all of the initial stuff here on their webpage. Like I did say, let me go ahead and I'm going to log out of my desktop here, and then I'll bring you guys back when I log into LEFTWM, and more than likely I'll probably just have a black screen, and then we'll have to get on the GitHub webpage right here again, and we'll have to do some configuring. But let me bring you guys back. All right, well, we have logged into LEFTWM, and as you can see, we have a black screen here. So the first thing I want to do is I want to get rid of this black screen. I don't know. Whenever you're on a black screen, it's almost like there's nothing going on. So let me at least set the wallpaper. Now, luckily for us, we do have dmenu installed, and we have Rofi and all that stuff. And LEFTWM actually has some pretty sane key bindings already. So my key bindings do work. Or at least some of them work with like dmenu and stuff. So let me go ahead and just at least set a wallpaper. And there we go. There's a wallpaper set. So that looks a lot better than just a black screen, in my opinion. So let's go ahead and pull up Firefox here. All right. So now we got Firefox pulled up and the LEFTWM. Let's figure out how to generate a config file. Actually, let's go ahead and pull up a terminal here, and let's see if there's a default config file automatically set. So if we do config, and then I can do, there's the LEFTWM right there. So there is a config file automatically there for us. So that config.ron. Now let me move my big head for you guys. There we go. That looks a lot better. So you can see we have that config.ron. They used to use it looked like they used a .toml config prior to a couple versions, but they switched to this ron .ron programming language. I'm not sure what that stands for, and I don't even know the syntax, to be honest. So One thing that we're going to have to do is I'm going to have to switch. Okay, that's so this is a, I got to remember this is a dynamic tiling manager. It's not a manual tiler, so it's going to act like a dynamic. But one thing that we can do is we can pull up emacs here, and I'm going to get emacs going because we're going to use emacs to as our editor here. So let's do config LEFTWM and then config.run. All right. So let me make sure you guys can see this. All right. So this is the LEFTWM configuration. So it looks like they used the mod key 4, which is great. That's a really good default. So you got these tags. So it looks like they use a tag system, which some window managers like to use workspaces and workspace numbers, and then other ones will use what's called tags. It's basically the same thing. They behave a little different, but they're basically the same thing. Now, question, I wonder if we could switch that around. I'm not sure. So they got different layouts. Okay, so this is a dynamic tiler, like I thought initially, and they have a lot of layouts. They got the Fibonacci layout, horizontal, main and deck, monocle. Okay, I wonder which one they use for default here. Master and stack. Good, because I like the master and stack layout. And they got built-in scratch pads. That's pretty cool. I like built-in scratch pads. I wonder how they do their scratch pad though. So this is how they do their key bindings right here. So it's command, execute, value, program, key binding. Okay, so that's whatever. All right, so the first order of business for this, I think we want a bar first, right? Let's figure out how to get this bar, and let's figure out if there's a auto start with this thing, because I don't see anything that says auto start, and I wonder if there's even a auto start file that we can configure, because we want to use polybar. That's the bar that I prefer to use. So yeah, let me go ahead and switch over here to the browser, and let's just look at the configuration here. They do have I'm pretty sure they have a config. So there's some screenshots. They really don't have a lot on their webpage, do they? Okay. They do have a wiki. There's the config there. Okay. Auto start, here we go. So auto start, it's actually not part of the config.run, but kind of belongs here. There are basically 3 ways to auto start applications with LEFTWM. So we got the XDG auto start. So we have up and down scripts in the theme. So that's another thing. They have like these up and down scripts. The same script can be placed in left and so if we want to do an auto start, we'll actually have to read the .desktop file in the Arch wiki to get that working. That's not a big deal. Let's go ahead and let's skip a little bit here. So we may have to. I've never done one of these files before. So it says right here, we'll need it in config auto start. Okay. Well, let's make that if we don't have it. Hey, I already have an auto start. Oh, okay, so we already have a conky and a variety and all that. I'm getting rid of that. Conky. I don't need any of that crap. So let's try and get polybar to auto start here and see if that works. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure. But I'm just gonna follow the Arch wiki here to try and figure this out. Okay, so so we can call this auto start. I'll call this call it polybar, because I think that's what I want. I want polybar first. So nbim polybar, and then we got to do this. You know what? I'm just gonna copy. I'm actually gonna save some time here, and we're just gonna copy all this because I don't need the name of the application. Okay, so let's get rid of this, and we're gonna call this polybar. Comment. My comment is polybar top bar. The path to the folder in which the executable is ran. Okay, let me make sure it's user bin here. User bin polybar. It is. Okay. User bin. The executable of the application with arguments. So here's where it's going to be a little different, because we have to start polybar with the configuration file that we want to use here. So I already have something similar kind of set up, and I believe it's in my i3 config. I'm not 100% sure. So we have polybar launch. Okay, so that's the actual exec that we need to use. This right here. We need to use this. So we're going to execute .config polybar launch sh. We'll just use polybar. Does it need to run in a terminal? No. And then we can do categories. Let's just do languages just to satisfy that entry right there. Yeah, I think that's I believe that's all we need to really do with this. Okay, right, and quit that. Now, actually not part blah blah blah. When executing soft reload or hard reload. Okay, so now we need to figure out how to soft reload and how to hard reload this tiling window manager here. So what we can do is just go back to the GitHub page. They did have some key bindings here at the very bottom here, probably showing you how to. So right here we can reload Mod Shift R. Shift. That's not okay. So that's not actually working. How on earth? Okay. What about? Let me check the actual config here. So soft reload is Mod Shift R. What's a hard reload? It doesn't have it, does it? So they're soft. Yeah, they really don't have a soft. I mean, they really don't have a hard, do they? Does a hard mean that you just exit the application? I mean, you exit the window manager and you come back to it, I wonder? Let's try and do that. Let's try to do that. All right, well, logged in, and we actually have a bar. That is pretty cool. Now, the one thing about the bar, you will see at the very top here, we don't have any workspace numbers or anything like that. I'm pretty sure the reason. In fact, I'll just show you guys real fast. I'm pretty sure the reason we don't have actual workspaces or tags at the top here is because we're using our i3 bar, and if you ever configured polybar before, then you would know that polybar is kind of weird because you can use like workspace numbers and workspace tags with like there's polybar. I mean, there is i3 like specific stuff that you can do, and I'm doing that. Let me show you guys just so I don't confuse anyone here. The reason we're not seeing any of that. I'll go down here and I'll show you. So we need to actually have this right here. So these are comments. So this module X workspaces, if I'm going to use polybar with LEFTWM, I'm probably going to have to use this. Now, since I'm using the i3 polybar, my i3 config version of it, what I actually have is, you can see my module i3 here. So that's the reason we're not seeing any of the, you know, my actual workspace numbers and all of that crap. I'm pretty sure anyway. But like I said, this stuff right here, what I'll probably end up doing is I'll just copy and paste, and yeah, I'll have it set up. What I could do, I guess, I could copy this real fast, but you know what? I don't want to make this video super long. But we do have a bar. Okay, now what I'm eventually going to do is I'm eventually going to go and set up like emacs and stuff like that to automatically set. As long as we have a bar, you know, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, like I said, this is just a first look video. Now, I think what we need to do is I actually need to get SXHKD working, because we want the SXHKD daemon running. Again, I'm going to have to take out some i3 specific stuff with it to get it working. So I'm going to hold off on that actually, and let's configure the actual configuration file of LEFTWM, and I'm just going to tweak some key bindings and see what we can kind of do with that. First off, we don't want mod shift return. Like, that's no. But is there a mod return somewhere? Because we don't want yes, there is a mod key return right here. Move window top. All right, let's figure out what that does. So it just switches, right? Basic stuff. That's kind of what DWM does and all of the rest of them. Okay, so we can switch these. Mod window top. Let's figure out how they do different keys here. So they just separate it with a comma, looks like. Yep, with a comma. Shift. Okay, and now we're gonna do just mod return. So see if we can do a reload here. And there we go. And now if I do mod shift return, it switches. Okay, and I like that a lot better. Another thing I don't like is they have mod shift Q to close out the window. I don't use that key binding. I don't like that. I like mod shift C. Like that's C for close, right? So let's make sure there's no duplicates or anything like that. I don't want to get errors. It doesn't look like there's any C key bindings here, so it's probably safe to go ahead and change this. C, okay, write it out, reload, and now let's see. Okay, cool. So we got that going for us. Mod Shift X looks like it logs out of the session here. I can get behind that. They also have an S lock key defined here to lock out LEFTWM. We can probably delete this because we wouldn't use this. I wouldn't use S lock. Well, I might actually use S lock, but in fact, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna delete this line right here because we are not gonna use it. So swap tags. We can't see our tags up there, so we can't even test out this feature. The next layout, mod control K. Okay. Mod control K. Let me go ahead and okay. I like that. Yeah. And these are all the different layouts here. I wish I had a thing up there telling me what different layouts I was using, but that'll come in due time. I'm pretty sure this is probably going to be your yeah, this is your kind of your full screen layout here. Okay. Yeah. So that's all good. It also looks like gaps is supported by default. I kind of like that. So we got window rules and stuff. Scratch pads. I'll tell you what, let's figure out how to get a scratch pad working here in LEFTWM. They already have one defined, but what I don't know is I don't know how to actually execute the actual scratch pad. Let me look here just a little bit to see if they have any default kind of key bindings, and it looks like they don't. They have alacrity up here, but that's for just the regular alacrity. We want the scratch pad alacrity. Yeah, so I don't know, like they have it defined, but let's figure this out. I mean, that's, so let me pull up Firefox again. We can go to the wiki, config, let me search for scratch pad here. Scratch pads, here we go. Okay, scratch pad is a set of windows which can call to any tag, blah blah blah. We already know, we know what a scratch pad is. So this is how you define a scratch pad here. So toggle scratch pad, that's kind of what we need, right? Do they have something? So toggle for screen, toggle, oh, here we go. So right here, they give you a example right here of how to make a scratch pad. So what we can do is just copy and paste, and we can also release it. Moves the scratch pad. Moves the window in the scratch pad to a tag and removes the empty scratch pad. That's kind of cool. Okay, we ain't gonna release any scratch pad. We can also attach a scratch pad and next scratch pad window. That's kind of unique. But let's just figure out how to toggle this thing on and off. Let's do something very, very basic here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come down here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy and paste. Oh, is that not going to work? That is going to work. Okay, cool. And I need to make sure there is a comma right there. So let's go ahead and line this up, make it look decent here. And then we can do something kind of like they're doing, or we can just have it kind of set like this. I almost prefer the way it looks like this. As soon as we line everything up, I think it's just a little bit easier to read. Let's figure out what they call that scratchpad. So they did call it Alacrity. You can see the name right here and the value. So these things are probably pretty important to have. Looks like they're using the value, but this comment right here says it's the name. So I guess we have to have the name of the scratchpad. So they're using mod key P. Now, mod key P, we're using that key binding. So what we want to actually use, just for this demonstration, we'll probably just use mod key T, because I don't think they're using T for anything. And they're not. So I'm going to go ahead and write it. We're going to do a soft reload. Okay. And now if I hit mod key T, what should happen is we pull up Alacrity. There it is. Now it's not very big, but we can fix that. So let's go ahead and fix that. So they got 300. I don't understand this. Shouldn't that be bigger? I mean, that's that window is tiny. Okay. We'll do, I don't know. Let's do like 600 by, I don't know, 700 or whatever. It don't matter at this point. We're testing this thing out, so. You know what I wonder? I wonder if we have to define something down here, but that's weird because I thought this is pulling, like this whole thing is pulling from up here. You know what I'm saying? Like it's pulling the information from up here. It's really not, right? Because it should be a lot bigger, like a hell of a lot bigger. So let's make this thing kind of absurd. Let's do like 800 by 600. That's a really big, that's a big size. Let me write it. Soft reload. Yeah, that's, huh. I mean, that is tiny. What's the X and Y coordinates? Like, I wonder what these actually are. Is that where it's gonna set on the screen? I wonder. That's probably what it's gonna set on the screen. Let's look at the config. I mean the documentation here. Toggle was the specified scratchpad. Okay, I mean that's what we kind of did. You know what? I wonder if we have to do like a hard reload to get that scratchpad. I still don't understand the reason it's so freaking small. What I wonder, this window manager, I have read a little bit about this window manager. This window manager is extremely weird because every once in a while, whenever you do something, you always have to like reload it. But what I wonder is if we have to do a hard reload, because I've been doing a soft reload. And the scratchpad works. I mean, it does work. It's just, it's not working very, this thing is super tiny. Like, I can't do shit with this. Yeah. Let's, let me try this hard reload. I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to try this hard reload. I'm going to pause the video for a minute, just in case, it logs us out or does something weird. I don't want to lose all this footage I just recorded, so I'll bring you guys back. All right, well, I went ahead and took care of a couple of things off camera here. The first thing I did is I made auto start stuff. So now we have nitrogen, PyCom, and polybar. I have it auto start for us. And the other thing I took care of is we do have a scratchpad. Now, is it big? Like, is it big enough? Honestly, I don't know. But I did take care of that a little bit. I'll show you what I kind of did. And I don't know if this is the proper way. Like I said, this is the first time really looking at this window manager here, and there's still some nuances about it. But what I did is, so either this line right here kind of fixed the size. What I did is I gave it some absurd number. Now, the documentation did say that this is in pixels. So I'm not sure if this is, if this is what actually caused the window to be a little bit bigger, or I went ahead and set it down here as well. So I'm not sure. I'm actually just not sure if this is what I did, or if the other one is, if that's the proper way. I'm just not entirely sure on that, but whatever one it's reading, it does seem to kind of work. So now if we do Control T, you can see, I mean, we have a decent scratch pad. I mean, that's a hell of a lot better than what we had a minute ago. Now, one thing I do want to do, we need to get SXHKD working and running, because quite honest, I don't. Well, I need my keycords, okay? And some of these defaults are fine, but I would prefer to have some of my applications, already have its key binding set up and everything. So I'm going to go ahead, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and we're going to copy over my originally SXKD. Okay, we're going to change directory. And now, what I kind of do on, like, stuff that I share between multiple window managers, like SXHKD, you can see I named it i3. That's a reminder to me that, hey, that's the i3 version of SXKD. So what I'm going to actually do, though, is I'm going to copy it. And we're going to rename this SSHKD, and we're going to say this is LEFTWM, right? So now I have two of them. Now they're the same file, but we're going to edit this thing to LEFTWM. So I'm going to pop back in emacs here, and we'll just do a find file, SXHKD, and then we want LEFTWM. And now what I want to do is we don't need this portion of it. Super B, okay. And now what I kind of need to do is I have this line right here, i3 specific stuff. Let's get in visual mode here, and we're seriously just going to remove all that, because we don't want this to interfere with LEFTWM at all. And that's kind of what we're going to have for right now. Now, I will go back and I'll fix this up a little bit, but you can see, I mean, I just have a couple applications that I'm going to use. The big one, the reason I like SXHKD so much, though, is keycords. I don't know if LEFTWM actually supports keycords. There's not a whole lot of documentation on LEFTWM, to be quite honest with you. I did find a couple websites where some people have configured some stuff, but I just don't know if it has it built in. Leave me a comment down below, though, if you guys do know that LEFTWM has some stuff built in that I'm just not seeing. So we can go ahead and write it. We can write this file, okay? And now what I think I need to do is we need to, well, you know what I need to do? As I need to make we need to make a new auto start, don't we? Okay, we can just, actually, you know what? Might be easier just to copy it like this. I'm trying to get a hang of just using emacs for everything, but it's providing, it's a challenge. I'll say that, it is a challenge. I'm still in the mindset of pulling up a terminal and, you know, copying and stuff, so. But what I can do is I can go ahead and we can copy either one of these, and we're going to call this SXHKD hyphen LEFTWM dot desktop. Okay. And now, if I go up, and then I go back, I should have that there. I'm not sure how come. Yeah, I'm not sure how come it's not showing up in Emacs here. Did I make it? I copied it right? Yeah, it's right there. I wonder how come Emacs is not showing it automatically. Autostart. Yeah, it's just not showing up, is it? That is weird. Oh, GR. Okay. There we go. So that's my fault for not using the application properly. But either way, we can get this going. All right. So what we're going to do is, instead of nitrogen, of course, we want SXHKD. That's the name of the application. Well, we can have any name we want. I guess we'll just call this one LEFTWM here. Okay. And then the comment, and the comment just doesn't, it doesn't matter. Word. So the comment is going to be, I don't know, hotkey Damien for LEFTWM. Okay, it's in user bin, and then the execute is going to be, excuse me, this is the part that I kind of don't know 100% because I have it set in I3 though. Cat auto start. Yeah, there it is. So if I do SXHKD -C config SXHKD, that is a mouthful, and then XXHKD, instead of I3, we're going to say LEFTWM. And then icon set obviously is XXHKD. It doesn't need to be ran in, well, you can run it in a terminal. I don't think it needs to be, right? Shouldn't, yeah, I don't think you needed it. We'll see. But that seems to kind of be it here. Now let me do it. All right, what I'm going to have to do is relog again, and we're going to see if this thing actually works or not. All right, well, we relogged back into LEFTWM. Let's see if SXHKD is working properly. So if I do Control P, I should have Rofi instead of D menu. There's Rofi. Fantastic. Okay. That also means that if I do Super D, I should have D menu. There's D menu at the top. That's great. Now I made a emacs .desktop file just so that the emacs daemon would run. So now my key chords should work. And so if I hit if I hit Super EE, emacs should fire up. So let's do Super EE, Super EE. Nothing's working. Okay, that's not working. That's okay. I'll do some investigation here. So if I do htop, I don't know why. Emacs shouldn't be running. So the daemon is running. We can see that the daemon's running right there. Okay, so if I do sxhkd, sxhkd is running right there. That is odd. Unless, I mean, I know I didn't delete any Emacs configurations, or my keybinds rather. So let's investigate a little bit. It's sxhkd, okay, and I'll fire this up in one thing that's really pissing me off. Well, it's upsetting me with Emacs is it always leaves behind a an autosave file, and I'm going to turn that feature off soon because I do not like it. Yeah, I'm supposed to be able to do super E and then a keybind, super EE, right? The only thing I can think of is there is a conflict. There has to be a conflict. Generally, sxkd will work without a hitch unless there's some kind of conflict. So let's see if there is an actual conflict. Actually, I have another key cord. Let me see if this other key cord works. So if I do if I do super B F, it should pull up Firefox. So super B F. No. That might be another conflict. Not sure. Alright. It's alright. We'll do so it's LEFTWM. And I'll just go ahead and pull this up in NeoVim real fast. So remember, let's look for super E super fast. Just to make sure there is no weird conflict. It doesn't look like there's a conflict with any key binding. Well, I can tell you right now that's a conflict right here with D menu. But this is weird because you can see super P should execute D menu. XSHKD has just taken over that key binding and it pulls up Rofi. But I wonder if that's a weird kind of conflict. Just not sure. So that's super shift B. Okay. Let's go and write that out. Yeah, I don't. This is. Yeah, I don't like how Emacs is leaving behind those autosave files. Yeah. Huh. Because it should work. It should work. In fact, if we do super Y, it should hide polybar. Polybar is gone. So that works. That works intended. I don't think I have Flame Shot installed yet. But let's do I have Q browser? Super B Q. Okay. Super B F. Super E E. Super E E. Super E E. Nothing. Yeah, I'm kind of scratching my head. I do not know. But regardless, this is a pretty cool window manager. I do kind of like it. Now, I know I didn't show you guys a whole lot with the configuration. I do apologize about that. It's just there's a lot to it. Configuring a window manager, it can really take it could take me all day to do this, right? And honestly, I don't want to make a 6-hour video of me just going through the configuration and trying out different stuff. And you know how it is. Some stuff ain't gonna work the way that you thought it was going to work, and then you have to edit that file, and then you have to keep going back and forth, So that's kind of my first look at this. What I will do though is, I'm going to play around with this a little bit more. I do really like it, and I like the fact that it's written in Rust. I think Rust is a fantastic programming language. So I'm actually going to keep it. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to configure it. I'm going to get everything working properly. Hopefully I can get key cores working. If I can get key cores working, I'm probably going to use this as my daily driver. And yeah, that's pretty cool. And then after I get a better config kind of going, what I'll do is I'll end up just uploading this to my GitLab. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Sorry about bouncing around so much in this video. It's just, it's just kind of the way that it happened. Because, like I said, this is a lot bigger of a project than, just messing with, a basic application. So make sure that you give me a like, hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell if you want to be notified when I make a new video. And until next time, I want you guys to take care, be safe, and peace. Bye, guys.